Are you ready?
Starting now?
Well, now you just messed it up, you knob. God, you know that the shit that we go through for this, huh?
I know. Fuckers better appreciate it. When we started, we were just like, yeah, we're just going to do this, man. You know, shoot our wad into the wind and see what happens. What's the title of this podcast again?
I don't know. I don't know. Something with a penis, I guess.
Right.
Our fucking faces are everywhere now.
Right.
You know, but
You're welcome, ladies.
Right. Popular with the ladies. Right. Oh, I'm not even going to apologize because hopefully it sounds fucking hilarious.
Yeah, totally. This is fucking explicit now.
The explicit button. Let me use my finger.
La, 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 la.
It is time for another episode of Sober, Not Mature. And that episode starts now.
All right, everyone. Welcome once again to another episode of Sober, Not Mature. And,
False advertising alert. False advertising alert.
Yeah. This is probably the week because it was Dr. Sarah that everyone was actually looking at our Instagram and our Facebook page.
Sure.
So here's the deal. She did not cancel on us. We had a technology issue. We've just been on kind of on a phone and stuff with her for the last like half hour. First of all, she was apologizing where there's no need to. There's a piece of equipment that wasn't working on her end, so we're trying to get it all squared away. So this is not Dr. Sarah.
I certainly am not Dr. Sarah.
But you know what? Here's the cool part. Out of anyone that we could have had an issue, and I don't even want to say an issue, that we could have had a stumbling block like this with.
Right.
She's the best person in the world for it. First of all, because she's overly apologetic, which she didn't need to be. She felt bad, which she didn't need to be. Her and I misunderstood what microphone, it doesn't even matter. It was funny, and I said, don't worry about it. She's like, let me know. She's like, I'll order a new headset tonight. She goes, you let me know on your schedule. I will come back on. She's a given, I guess is my point.
Right.
So, but so it's the not Dr. Sarah episode. But yeah, she's coming up. It might be a couple of weeks. I think we got some shit going on the next couple of weeks, don't we? So it might be.
We do.
I don't know. Third
Right.
week of September, second week. I don't know. We'll figure it out. She'll be on though. But
Yep.
yeah. But so anyhow, did I just say Dr. Sarah's not coming on tonight? Oh, hey, guess what? This is so fucking perfect too.
Yeah.
This is the start of a brand new season.
That's right.
Wait, what is it in the Brady Bunch when they had? Are you wearing one of those fucking tiki things around your neck or something like that? Is that?
They're down in my bathroom, actually.
You motherfucker! You jinxed us.
Right.
Yeah, no, it's
Vincent
all
Price is hiding in a cave somewhere.
right. But yeah, I mean, it's whatever, man. The funny part is that Mike and I know I think I'm going to speak for you right now if you don't mind, my friend.
Right.
We never have a problem filling time. You know, I mean, we're gonna fill time. We got plenty of shit to talk about. I'm traveling, you're working. I got a sheet full of shit, and fuck it, we'll get Dr. Sarah on in a couple of weeks, and yeah. Like he said right off the bat, false advertising. False advertising. You know what? I'm just gonna put it this way: she is worth the fucking wait.
Right.
That's all I'm gonna say. So.
Yeah.
But so just by chance, was that you reaching for your book?
You know what? It's sitting next to me on my desk. For some reason, I went, I'm going to grab it and throw it over here just in case, because who fucking knows?
Exactly.
Anyway.
The same thing I said right before we came on. I mean, I print out usually a couple of sheets because I have my notes and shit on here, and I wasn't going to do it tonight because I'm like, I don't need it. I got scratch paper. I'm like,
Right.
fuck it. I'll print it off. I had like 3 things that I had just notes for for Dr. Sarah, and I'm like, fuck it, I'll print it off. I use the scratch paper for work anyhow. So, but yeah,
Mhm.
I'm all good to go, and your book is within reach. So,
It is. I
okay,
don't know what the hell I'm going to read out of it, but it's here.
do the fucking random thing because that's a perfect way to start. I mean,
All right.
our great guest got derailed. It's the start of a season. That's all fucked up. We have no idea what we're doing, which we'd never do anyhow. But random, just flip it all open and let's that's the more fun one anyhow.
All right. Let's see. No, that won't work. Uh, shit. I think I've done that one. Let's see. Flip, 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 flip. Uh,
What's a good day in the calendar? Ooh, March. How about my grandson's birthday, March 15th, or your granddaughter is May 15th? Pick a birthday.
All right. Let's see here. You say March 15th. March.
Or pick Lidz's
Yeah, well, let's see what we
birthday.
got here. All right. Well, let's see what the hell we got here. March 15th.
Cool.
The body is like a piano. It is needful to have the instrument in good order. Henry Ward Beecher. All right. Why does our body matter? Because it's where our thoughts, feelings, and spirit all reside. We need a healthy brain in order to think well. We need balanced hormones in order to have balanced emotions. We need strong and limber arms and legs and a strong back if we want to play well with others. Now that we are sober, we can take good care of our body. We can eat healthy food, get enough sleep, and exercise. We can deal with an addiction to tobacco or sugar that can lead to lung disease or diabetes. We have been given our life back. Let's keep our body in tune so that we can make pretty music with our lives. Prayer for the day. Higher power, thank you for saving me from my addiction to alcohol and drugs. Help me keep my body in tune so I can live well and love well with this life you have given me. Today's action. I will take a look at how I care for my body. Do I neglect it? Do I abuse it? How can I take good care of my body so that my mind, feelings, and movements stay healthy and strong? I will do one good thing for my body today.
Okay, so let's start with that. What one good thing would you...
Yeah. Talking to the wrong dude. No. I don't know. What one good thing did I do for my body today? Shit. I don't think I did. I really don't. I don't know. I don't know. I smoke too much. I like sugar. Let's see. My shoulder's been bugging the shit out of me, so I haven't been sleeping very well for a while.
Oh, your shoulder's going again? God
yeah. The other one. The other one this time.
damn.
My driving shoulder. Yay, that's fun.
Lovely.
Yeah. Let's see. I don't know. I took a nice shit this morning. I suppose that
There you
helped.
You drink a lot of water.
I do drink a lot of water. Right.
There you go. See, look at I helped you out. Co-signed your
I
bullshit.
appreciate that. All right. What the fuck did you do today?
Well, let's see. I did. Well, see, Friday's a bad day to do it because I buy pizza.
Yes, I already ate my pizza.
Yeah, and it was a couple nights ago I went up and I took a nice little walk through the downtown area up here. I didn't do that tonight. Although I walked down the fucking steep ass driveway to throw out the garbage cans down at the end of the driveway.
Mm-hmm.
And it is. I mean, it's fucking steep. So I walked down there to put that in the garbage. So I took a short walk, nothing great.
All right.
Drank a lot of fucking coffee. I hit my vape all day.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. I haven't had any sugar yet.
I
will though.
You? God,
I will.
I know.
Well, and the only reason I haven't had it yet, I usually have cookies for lunch, but the whole swollen thing going on in my mouth, that's all gone. The antibiotics took care of that.
Mm-hmm.
But my jaw is still, I can't fully open my mouth completely yet. It's better. I could actually eat my pizza tonight without cutting it up. because the last 2 weeks I literally had to cut it up, and because I couldn't open my mouth to fit a piece of pizza in my mouth. You know?
Wow.
Yeah, it was fucking weird. And I think two things. Whatever was going on with that infection, I think affected my jaw. But honestly, because it hurt when I went in there to the dentist that day. But the way she was taking the X-ray, she shoved this motherfucking thing back into the back of my mouth, and I think she jabbed the muscles in my jaw back there. I don't know, because it fucking hurt so bad going in that there's just no way for me to tell. So today is probably not the best day to,
Right.
I guess, to really go into what I did good. But you know what? I mean, for the most part, I do get I get better sleep than I used to. I watch what I do with that. I don't drink as much water as I should. But hang on one second, Dr. Sarah. She's texting me. I'll get to it in a minute. She just ordered a headset. I'm just gonna do no worries because she said sorry again.
We're doing a fucking podcast here, lady.
I know. She's supposed to be our guest. She probably thought we weren't recording. There, I put my phone away. But so I get better sleep. I do. I walk, and with the again, I know I joke about the hiking and shit like that. Yeah, but it's the thing of it is I do get that sort of exercise. But the thing of it is, it's funny because I just saw a meme the other day. It was like a video meme. It showed this guy standing on the top of like one of these overlooks that I go to, and the words come up. They're like, "Oh, you hike every weekend. You must be in the best shape ever," type of thing. They show this guy's silhouette, kind of arms on his hips, type of thing, like a Superman pose.
Right.
But then he's like, no. But every time I walk, and they show him walking up an incline, kind of leaned over, hunched over, stop and go,
right.
And the thing of it is, I still have a fucking 55-year-old body. I'm not in the best shape. I smoked for fucking 30 plus years. I don't think I'm in the best physical shape. Who knows what the fuck's going on? But I'm like an old fucking Buick is the only way that I can put this. Is that, I mean, when I get up in the morning, it takes a little bit to get work in. I get the knees hurt, the back hurts. It's like, and I'm fine. Once I get all my readings done, but it's a good half hour till I'm like good to go. And it's not even the coffee thing, But then same thing when I get out hiking like that, the first probably 20, 30 minutes, I'm like, Jesus Christ. It's like I'm sore. I'm like, I don't feel like I feel like a little out of breath. But it's like once I get going, it's like everything it's like blowing out the carburetor,
Yep.
At an old Buick. It's just got, a little bit of buildup in there. Just had to get her out on the highway and fucking open that sucker up, and I'm like, I'm good to go,
All right.
But I don't know. In general, the thing of it is, okay, so yeah, you smoke a lot, okay, but I think you eat better than you used to, even from when you first got sober. I'm giving you a little bit of credit here. The water thing, you drink more fucking water than almost anyone that I know. I mean, so that's good for you.
Yeah,
probably you may not get as much, let's say, walking around type of exercise, but based on the type of job you do need to.
Right.
But I don't know. I mean, we treat our bodies better than we ever used to.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Definitely. I took my vitamins this morning and do that every morning. So, right. I'm hell, I'm okay. I mean, I got aches and pains, but I mean, I don't wake up hacking and yeah, I'm all right. I'm reasonably healthy. Get to go take a physical next month for my fucking medical card. Yeah. I'm pretty sure I'll pass it. My blood pressure's low, regular, and I don't have the beaties, and I mean, I don't eat as much sugar as I used to. So I'm all right. I'll probably make it through another day or so.
But the other thing too, that the reading started off with, obviously keep the instrument in good order. Again, I thought about something filthy there, so I'll leave that alone.
Sure.
But it said, I wrote down like healthy
piano,
brain.
not organ.
I know. But instrument. It does say instrument.
It does.
I talked about it, healthy brain, dealing with other addictions, which obviously we just talked about, keeping everything in tune, and abuse or neglect your body, So, I mean, the main thing is that, I mean, all of these things we're doing, our brains and our bodies are far healthier, even if we did nothing but sit on the fucking couch, eat bonbons, and watch, reruns of Love Boat all day. We're in better shape than we were 15 years ago.
Yeah,
No.
that sounds like a wonderful day.
Doesn't
Anyway.
it? But I mean, again, we got to give ourselves a little bit of credit, a little bit of grace, as they say.
Right.
But I mean, yeah, I mean, I need to go in. I've got medical insurance now. I got dental insurance. I mean, I could use some dental work. I could use a physical. Because you know what, the thing of it is, and I know I've told you this before, but the men on the paternal side of my family don't fucking live long.
Right.
They just don't, you know. And it's been, and I'm talking about great grandpa to dad. You know, they
Right.
don't live long, and I'm not that far away from when all those fuckers died.
Right.
You know, so, and I don't want to die within that time frame.
Uh-huh.
You know, but you know, so I do. I need to get into the doctor, and it's more of a thing where, like I was talking about, what was that, a week or so ago, maybe 3-4 episodes ago. You know, yes, I'm enjoying my life. I'm enjoying what I'm doing, all these different things, blah, blah, blah. I'm gaining my own happiness, again, as a byproduct of all this stuff. But
Right.
the thing of it is, truly, I'm not living for other people, but other people are um, a big focus of why I want to stick around. Does that
Yep.
make sense?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know?
Right. Definitely. You know, yeah. Same thing. Right. You know, and I'm shit, man. You know, I've lost a little weight, and yeah, it's, you know, I'd like to lose a little more, but I'm not stressing it.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. Shit. We're doing okay. Fuck, for a couple old drunks. We're doing all right.
Right. Yeah. And it is funny. And I've said it before, and I've noticed it over it's been in the last, I know when it started is when I moved down to Indiana, you know, when I wasn't walking around as much, you know, for work and stuff like that.
Right.
Because when I was working in an office, again, just being at the desk, walking to, you know, somebody I'm helping, walk into the bathroom, walk to the break room to grab coffee, walk outside to hit a cigarette, whatever the case is, I'm walking all over the damn place for years, you know. So I could eat and basically, you know, maintain the weight that I had, including, you know, the stomach type of thing.
Right.
But where I've actually gained weight in the last couple of years, I don't know that overall I've gained weight. You know, I'm sure probably 3-4 pounds, maybe. I don't know if I haven't been on a scale in fucking years. But it's around the middle. But that's what happens to us old fucks, because
That's
the
it.
testosterone slows down. And, you know, the thing of it is, and it doesn't matter what you do. I've tried different diets. I eat fairly well. You know, I cut out, like, you know, potatoes and carbohydrates for a couple of weeks.
Right.
Didn't make a fucking bit of difference. Not a goddamn bit of difference. None.
Yeah.
Like, fuck it. I could do sit-ups. Nope.
Yeah.
There was I was just watching. I can't remember what. Maybe it was Bill Burr. I flipped on. I don't know. It said Netflix the other night. I flipped it on. It's one I'd seen before. One of his stand-up specials. Which, by the way, I fucking love Bill Burr. But he was talking about that. You know, he goes. If you ever tried, he's talking about people getting fat, eat McDonald's, this and that. You know, it's their fault. Eat a salad, blah blah blah.
Right.
But he said, when it really comes down to it, he goes, have you ever tried to get a six pack? He said, it's fucking impossible.
Right.
He goes, once you're over the age of 19, he goes, forget about it.
Yeah.
But you got a trainer, and you got this, and you got that. And he's going through all this different stuff. He goes, it's impossible.
Yeah.
And I don't want to do that much fucking work anyhow. I've never wanted to.
No.
So
I've given up 6 packs.
Yeah, all of them on my body and in my body. But yeah, I mean, to your point, I agree. I agree completely. You know, we're not doing too bad for, you know, somebody in his mid-50s, and then the other guy in his late 50s. Are you
Right.
late 50s now, right?
Yeah. I keep working it over in my head, man. I'm pushing fucking 60. There's just no doubt about it. You know,
Right.
2.5 years is not going to be that fucking long. I will be 60 fucking years old.
Right. But the same thing that we talk about, though, what a fucking gift.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Because I mean, for us to just take two of us, not even take all the other fucking alcoholics and drug addicts out there, which it's a gift for too, but knowing what you and I did to our bodies at the time that we came in the shape that we were in, you know, to be at that point and be pushing that, you know, coming up on, you know, we're rounding the corner on that, you know, that handful of years, 20 years, you know, that since we got sober. I'm not trying to, you know, jump ahead on that. I'm just saying in general, I wouldn't have lived another maybe another 2 months,
right?
Let alone 15 years, you know.
Exactly.
I mean, Jesus Christ.
Yep.
So you know what? I think what it comes down to, do we have to be grateful? Is that the fucking problem?
Yes, we have to be grateful.
All right. So anything else on that reading? That wasn't bad. I mean, it's, again, give us something to talk about for a couple of minutes.
It was. Yeah, it's fine. I'm gonna go light a cigarette.
Right. I think the funniest part was you're like, God, I didn't do a goddamn thing good for myself today. Fucking honesty. Yeah. So, all right. I get two quick things about where I'm at. First of all, what did you say in the text message when I said I was here? Did you say something about fucking banjos? I think you said.
Oh yeah. Beware of banjo music.
So here's the thing, and again, I posted pictures on Instagram. If you don't follow us on Instagram, take a look. I mean, it's pretty fucking cool, and it's up. It's up this steep hill, and I'm sure in the fall, once all the leaves get down, you can see the road, but I don't think you can't really. It's private,
Mm-hmm.
To the point where like at night and stuff like that, there's curtains on the bedroom. There's two windows in the bedroom, so there's curtains on there, kind of like to black it out a little bit.
Uh-huh.
But there's no curtains. There's three windows in the living room, and then the back door window, one window in the kitchen. There's no curtains on it. And to begin with, I'm just kind of like, well, that's kind of fucked up. Then I'm like, whatever, man.
Right.
It just is what it is.
Yeah.
And it's the place I was at in Niagara. Over the kitchen window, there wasn't a curtain. So I bought a sheet and put that up there. But there was a house next door, again, kind of a privacy fence, quote unquote, with the trees. But I'm like, that I put a curtain up, curtain-ish up. But here I'm like, well, whatever. But I'm like, at night, I don't keep the light on because it just draws like the outside light because it draws bugs.
Uh-huh.
But I'm standing out there and I'm like, I don't know. Someone can be fucking looking at me for all I know. And I'm like, what am I going to do? I'm like,
right.
It is what it is. Probably nobody's going to come up here. If they do and they break in, I'm fucking dead because nobody's going to hear me. So what do I care? I mean, seriously, it's just like, what am I going to do? Worry about it?
Yeah. Right.
But it's cool. It's comfortable. It's a small-ish house. Same thing as a lot of Airbnbs. There's one closet in the bedroom. That's the only problem with some of these places. Just not a lot of closet space. So I feel like I got kind of shit all over the place a little bit because I bring, I don't really have places to put all stuff, but I like it. It's nice. It's comfortable. The internet's fucking wonderful. Everything's
Cool.
been fine.
Good.
So I went and I, hit a couple of places. I was on this fucking trail that I went to on Sunday. Yeah. It was on this ridge of this mountain. I swear to fucking God, it was a 20-minute drive to get up there
Uh-huh.
in this winding, snaky road. I wish I would have known. It had to have been 3 miles, maybe
Wow.
2. But I mean, this road barely enough for a car. This Jeep came barreling down one time. Another car came down just enough where both of us could squeeze off to one side and kind of get by.
Uh-huh.
But terrible on the way up. And then, but when you get up there, it's like, it was only like a mile and a half or whatever out to this overlook, and then a couple of these places you could pop out and take a look. I mean, fucking mind blowing. I'm just standing there going, what the fuck? And there's you could tell people have done this, like rappelling down these cliffs and these faces of these
Yeah.
bluffs, because there's little bolts and shit in the rock. I'm like, oh, fuck me, but I'm standing there and I'm like, it's not slippery or anything like that, but it's still a little unnerving because I'm like,
Mhm.
the wind blows the wrong way, but slip. I'm like, again, same type of thing, but fucking just spectacular. I think I'm going to go up by the Smoky Mountains. There's a couple of trails up in the southern end of it, like an
Mhm.
hour away. I might either tomorrow or Sunday, maybe next weekend, whatever. I got 2 weekends to do it. But you just drive down to the grocery store and there's fucking mountains and shit in the background, and
Right.
oh, it's just fucking awesome.
Cool.
And I wanted to get a haircut, so I drove out to that trail that I went to. Just went to a Great Clips, like an hour away from here. Just go in, and I walk in. There's this like 3 ladies and then this old fucking dude, right? And I
Uh-huh.
mean, probably I'm not joking. The guy has to be in his fucking 80s, right?
Yeah.
And I'm looking at him like, that's a dude that's gonna cut my hair. Fucking, I know it. And I'm like, you know what? Good for him. He's that old and he's up and he's working. More
Right.
power to this old dude. And I'm like, he wouldn't be working here if he didn't know what he's doing. Well, I was
Right.
wrong.
That
I was wrong. So he starts. Okay, my hair is with clippers. Anyone who's ever used clippers before, number 6, I
Yeah.
use on the top, number 3 on the sides and in the back, and then they trim around the ears, do whatever. Done. That's it. That's my haircut.
right.
So he gets the 6 and he's doing. He's like, this isn't taking anything off, and it's been like 5 weeks since I got my haircut.
Uh-huh.
So there should have been a lot coming off, right? And I'm
Right.
like, that's impossible. I said, are you sure it's a 6? And he's like, yeah, look. He's like, do you want me to use a 5? I'm like, yeah, because I could see him nuts come off. I'm like, what the fuck? So he uses a 5 or whatever. And then didn't do a very good job. He didn't you could tell he didn't cut a lot off. And now with a 5, right? So gets the sides, still kind of like going through this thing. And then, I'm thinking on around my ear when he did it. I'm like, God, I feel like he cut too far up around my ear. But then I'm like, can you go over the top again? He's like, I'm going to try the 6 again just to make sure. You've used a clipper before, right?
Yeah, of course.
There's an adjustment to high and low.
Right.
He had it on high. Okay. Which means obviously wasn't taking that much off. So now he's going over it with the 6, right? And I'm like, it looks fine, whatever. So I get, I went hike, whatever, took a shower. Then I look and my hair is it's not bad splotchy, but it's splotchy. He cut up too far up around my right ear. So it's like this whole thing going up there. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? And these haircuts at Great Clips now, it's $20, which it is what it is. But they used to be like fucking 12, right? I always leave, $4 or $5 tips. So it's $25 for this bad fucking haircut. And I never do this, but I did. I emailed Great Clips. I'm just like, this guy fucked up my hair. Nice old guy, whatever the deal is. But I'm like, it's fucked up. I'm like, how do you mess up that kind of haircut, right? So the lady's like, finally the salon owner gets back to me and she's like, oh, our system doesn't allow, because I'm like, I don't want to make a big stink out of this. Refund my money. Have a great day. Let me get on with my life, because I'm going to have to get my hair cut again in like a week, or 2.
Right.
Our system doesn't allow it to do it. Come on back. We'll redo the haircut. I'm like, I'm a fucking hour away. I'm not doing it.
Right.
She's like, well, if you're, at one of these other locations, I'm like, you were the closest location. If I go anywhere else, I'm like, it is what it is. It's not worth my time. Finally, after 2-3 emails, she's like, I could mail you a gift card. And I'm like, why didn't you fucking do that to begin with?
Right. Yeah.
So, and I really hate fucking complaining about it, but $20 is $20, right?
Yeah. Right.
So it's been so long since I've had a bad fucking haircut. It blows my mind. I don't understand how, when's the last time you needed a haircut? I'm not trying to fuck with you. I'm really not, because I know you shave your head and you do the whole thing, but I don't even know if I know how long it's been since you've had to go someplace to get your haircut.
Jesus. Bad. I don't know. Shit. How old am I? Very long time.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, back when it mattered. Shit. Let's see. Yeah, probably close to 30 years.
No shit. See that? And it was seriously when I was, as I'm talking about this, I'm like, I wasn't trying to fuck with you, but I was just, I don't think I've ever asked you, but because I know you've shaved your head for as long as I've known you. It's a minimum of almost 15 years.
Right.
So.
Yeah. I mean, I've been shaving my head probably, probably 20 some years easily. Well, yeah. So, and before that, I mean, I pretty much took care of it myself. I trim it, whatever. I mean, for a long time, it was, all pretty much one length. I just, pull it all back into a ponytail, and, when the ends would get a little shitty, I just clip the ends off. So, yeah, and before that, my lead singer was a fucking hairstylist. So,
oh shit, really?
Yeah.
Huh.
So, I mean, went to cosmetology school and all that stuff. And he was like really good. So yeah, I mean, going into a barber shop or anything like that, I'm teenager. Yeah. Right.
That's kind of funny to me, but I guess come to think of it, even back in back in the 80s and shit like that,
right.
with, with the big fucking hair, I mean, it didn't matter. It's not like it had to be, if part of it wasn't even, who the fuck would know, right? I mean, really, but I mean, I mean, I know there's a point, there's a style to it. I'm not taking away from that, but still, it's like you can look at it and go, you know what? You missed a spot.
Right.
But no, it blows my mind. I mean, I don't get, I get in my haircuts are as inconsistent as Domino's pizzas are, from different locations. And and I've been to a lot of them, and just in the last 6 months since I've been kicking around doing this stuff. And some of them, they're fucking perfect. And some of the crust is always different, the amount of toppings, the cheese, how cooked it is. And it just, I don't understand how somebody can, again, 6-3 trim done. I cut my hair myself for 4 fucking months during the pandemic and did a better
Right.
job than this fucking
Yeah.
dude did.
Right. Exactly.
But I don't know. But the thing of it is, I mean, I'm not, the only cool part is I used to be, um, I'm just going to say, I think I used to be relatively vain when it came to my hair.
Mm-hmm.
Certainly more conscious of it than I am today. I mean, I don't fucking care. If I get a bad haircut, nobody can tell, you know?
Right.
I Amber, I forget where we were the one time, and she's like, we were talking about something like, yeah, it's like, yeah, I need a haircut. She's like, really? It looks like you just got your haircut. And I'm like, no, I said, it's actually really long. She's like, it never looks any different,
Right.
And I suppose it doesn't. I mean, I don't do anything different to it. It's not
Right.
like, I mean, it gets longer every once in a while, but I mean, all in all, you can probably tell when it's shorter more than that, but I don't
Yeah.
know. And I wasn't mad about the haircut. It was just, I was like, literally like, are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
But the whole point was I didn't just drive out there for the haircut. The end result was I got to see this great, this great view and all that stuff. So it was fine,
Cool.
but I just like, fuck it, all said and done. I'm just like, I don't want to, I've had, again, not bad haircuts in the last 3-4 months, but two people that just didn't cut it. They put no force to it. So I had to go back in like 3 weeks to get a haircut,
Right.
Again, I don't know.
I don't know.
Do your fucking job, man. That's kind of my point, right?
Exactly.
But no, I mean seriously, it's fucking beautiful around here. It's
Nice.
Have you ever been to this area at all, or
I mean,
or no?
probably
through.
Yeah.
Again, you've been everywhere.
Is there an interstate somewhere nearby?
Yeah, I think
I've been there.
Right. And it's funny to me, but I mean, literally right where it is, because I'm looking at some of these different trails. I can. It was 10 minutes for me to get into Georgia, and technically, if I would have been able to drive just straight south, probably 5 minutes. But the road that I went down, I think it was 10 minutes before I was in the northern part of Georgia.
Right.
And I think Tennessee, to get into Tennessee, it can't be more than half hour from here.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, literally, it's at this tip of this North Carolina area. Yeah, it's really cool. It's nice, I don't know. I just one of those other places I've never been here, never experienced these type of things. And, again, it's all fucking mind blowing to me sometimes. I don't know, but I'm sure I'll have more stories. Like I say, I got two more full weekends to run around, but yeah, so that's that. But okay, so radio gig we talked about last week. That's coming up. 2 weeks? No.
That's next Friday.
That is next Friday. Okay, yeah. That okay. So, as of Monday or this weekend, you're going to start posting shit about it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's the show's going on right now.
That's right. Okay.
Actually, I had it on while I was waiting for you guys to figure out what the fuck you were doing. Yeah. So next week, a week from right now, I will be on the radio.
Awesome. Yeah, because I know. Yeah, because we're recording next Thursday night. That much I knew. I couldn't. It wasn't clicking on what day it was, but yeah, I came across a couple of the past posts over the last couple of days. So,
right.
You tell me what you want me to put up, and I'll obviously throw it up on Instagram. Make sure it hits our Facebook page, and you do what you do, and we'll get it promoted. But yeah,
I've already been grabbing pictures and shit, and tomorrow morning that's the plan. I got nothing going on. I am getting my playlist together.
Oh God, that's right. I think I was there that one time. Was that 2 years ago when you were actually doing that?
Probably. Yeah. Right. I mean, it's it's a process. Yes, it's 2 hours of radio programming, but I only do it once a year, and it's I mean, I got to time shit out, and because I can't. I want to play what I want to play, and I gotta. Yeah. So to fill that time and put in the breaks where I'm going to talk about whatever and blah blah blah, and it's a process. It takes me. It probably, I mean, all told, it probably takes me 4.5, 5 hours to actually sit down and do it all. And I write out my playlist, and it's a process. I like doing it though. I definitely, so yeah, that's tomorrow. That's nobody's around, and that's what I'm going to do. And then we're floating in the afternoon, and then Chris is taking me out to dinner.
Oh, that's cool. Well, good.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool. Yeah, and I remembered it was a long. It took an amount of time to put that together, but I couldn't remember what it was. But the thing of it is, and I know hit the nail right on the head when you said you don't mind doing it and you enjoy it, which that's the point.
I do.
And same thing with this stuff. I mean, we get on. It's not even just the talking time, the putting together of the podcast. Once again, I mean, it's at the most it's an hour and a half, but usually it's not
Right.
more than an hour and 15 minutes. Which when I think about the entire time commit from start to finish, I mean it's 2.5 3 hours.
Sure.
But it number one doesn't feel like it, and I don't care.
Yeah. Right.
I mean, because this is all it's like the time it takes for me to do my readings in the morning and that sort of thing.
Right.
I mean, it's I enjoy it, and that's got to be the same thing. I mean, 4 or 5 hours trying to figure out a playlist does not seem like a great time to me. I know what I would start doing. I'd be trying to figure out how can I make this more efficient.
Right. And there really isn't a way. I mean,
I was
because
just gonna say.
some of the sometimes, like I said, I've got to time everything out, so I need to know exactly how long every song is. Some have the time on them, some don't. So I've got to sit there and play the whole song and time it out, and which is fine. But and I put in, there's an order to it, and a flow, and blah 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 blah. And yeah, I love doing it, but yes, it takes some time.
But once again, I mean, all of it, just as a quick reminder for everyone else out, if you have no idea what we're talking about, Mike does this every year. It's for a college radio station. Obviously he bids on it and gets to do that every year. And it's giving back and being a productive member of society and the community.
Absolutely.
But this whole thing has roots in the Keating Center because he found this one show back when we were at the Keating Center. And I don't know, it's a really cool thing that goes full circle back to really early sobriety. And even though it's not a sober thing that you're doing, it is in a roundabout way. It has roots in that.
It has
right?
roots. Yeah, absolutely. I've talked about it on interview before. It was the first glimpse of shit. Maybe I can, have a normal life and be myself doing this sobriety thing. Because, your first couple of weeks of being sober, it's like, fuck, what am I going to, am I going to be able to be me? Am I going to be able to have fun? Am I going to be able to, all that shit, it's tough. And yes. And obviously a huge part of me is rock and roll and all that good stuff. And it was like, how am I going to be able to do this? Am I going to be able to do this? And just, listening to the radio and listening to cool music and guys talking and having fun. And it was like, fuck, man, it was the first glimpse of, okay, maybe this is going to work.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and again, early, a couple weeks we figured, right? 2-3 weeks, something like that. I mean, super.
Probably the second week. Second Friday, I was in the Keating Center. I was like, fuck, went to my meeting, got back, and I'm laying there going, fuck. I'm going to find something to listen to on the radio. And I found something.
Yeah. And again, like I said, almost it's 14 and a half years later. I mean, it's still a part of your life inadvertently, not that completely first show, but still it is,
Right.
it is, so
It
it's
is.
just,
Right.
I don't know. It's really fucking cool to me. Oh, Derek texted me the other day and he said, he goes, I'm listening to your podcast with you guys talking about Machine Gun Kelly. And he goes, if you guys want to know anything more about him, he goes, ask Katie. She loves him. And I'm like, really? I said, I'll have to do that. That kind of made me laugh. I don't know that I've never met anyone outside of the Cleveland area that's even, uttered those, that his name has come across somebody else. I've seen it on social media and shit like that. But personally, I've never met anyone outside of Cleveland that I mentioned him, that talks about him or anything.
Yeah,
so
right. I mean, seriously, the only knowledge I have of him of any sort is he played Tommy Lee in that Dirt movie, that Motley Crue movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess I didn't even know that. Shit.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
That's the most exposure I've had to Machine Gun Kelly.
Seriously, I had no fucking idea who the dude was until I came out to Cleveland and got sober out there. Because then, people would start talking about him, whatever, and I'm like, who the fuck's this dude? I didn't know what he was. And like I said, when we were talking about him last week, one of his songs could be playing right now, and where I'm at, I would never ever know it was him.
Nope.
Never.
Nope.
Not even be like, is this Machine Gun Kelly? Would have never known. So. All right. I was going to say we, because this is our time, Mr. Hand. We have much more to talk about, but why don't we, what do you think? Should we take a break?
Yeah, let's do it, man. All right. Stay tuned for more of this wonderful, exciting talk right after these words from our sponsors.
Hey everyone, it's your friends at Sober Not Mature.
Hi
and,
there.
yes, it's both of your friends this time. Hi Mike, how are you?
I'm well. How are you, Bill?
I am doing well, but we do have a purpose. We actually usually talk about our one website, but we actually have two websites now. So we wanted two websites in one. All right, so everyone knows we still have the podcast website that is www.SoberNotMature.com. And we just launched the store website, so we also have that. Do you know what the website address is on that one, Mike?
Of course I don't.
It's pretty easy, Mike. It's www.SoberNotMatureShop.com.
Ah.
But from the podcast website, you can still hit the store link and get into the web store, or you can access it from our Instagram page through the highlights. We've been posting quite a bit about it, and we'll continue to do that. But do you know what's on the second website, Mike?
Well, there's a store. There are products that you can purchase for you and your loved ones.
Well, Mike, do we still have merchandise?
We have merchandise. Well, we got T-shirts and coffee mugs and all kinds of crap.
And one of the coolest parts, we also do have all the recovery books from Hazelden, which is kind of a big deal.
That is a big deal.
At least for us. So all the books that we read, God Grant Me, 24 Hours, the Big Book, the 12 and 12, all of those books are available for sale on our website. And again, that store website is www.sober.
Trying to help, man.
I know you are. You're not helping, though. Okay, now I got to say www.SoberNotMatureShop.com. .com. Visit that today, or visit the podcast website, which is, again, the podcast website. So
www.SoberNotMature.com.
Did you just say sober but not mature?
Yeah, sure. Write that down.
Yeah, like fucking mush mouth or something. All right, everyone. You've suffered enough with this, and we'll get back to what we were talking about previously. So visit the websites, though. All right, everyone. Welcome back. And yeah, you did the sponsors.
Right. I don't know how many ads we're putting in. Sponsors, whatever.
Okay, so just a quick side note on that, because all podcasts, and I mean from us to all the sober podcasts, even Smartless now is dropping in those pre-recorded ads. They do all of their host read ads that they've done for years.
Sure.
Smartless has, so whatever it is, these big companies, and it's the hosts that are reading them. Right. So a lot of podcasts do that too, but everyone is doing the ads like we are now.
Right.
We're not the first, or anything. We started doing it because other people were doing it.
Yeah.
But people have dropped, there's always one dropped in the beginning. There's maybe one about 20 minutes in, usually for us.
Okay.
And then in the middle, sometimes they'll drop one around where our break is. Because I think AI's got to recognize that sponsor type of thing. It has to. And then same thing, probably at the, 60-minute mark, roughly halfway through. And then at the end, that's usually where the breaks are. Sometimes there's two in the last half, because ours is longer than the last half.
Right.
But the thing of it is that every time, because I just have them automatically do it, they're AI placed or whatever it is, which is fine. It would take me too much fucking time to figure out where to put them. But they usually, they'll let's say if it's 5 spaces, they do 2 ads per space. I think that's overkill.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't want to. For everyone out there listening, I mean, yeah, thank you. If you listen through the ads, even if you speed through them, I don't give a fuck. If you start to play them, that's fine. We get credit for it, quote unquote. We're not making a lot of money off of it. The point of having the ads is it just gives us more exposure. That's it.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm serious. Every 3 months we get like $9. Maybe. I think we just I know, it just the other day it's like, oh, you got a deposit of $9.17 going into your account. I'm like, fucking ain't right. And that's like for however many ads for 3 months. It doesn't, I don't even pay attention. But I cut everything down except for the end. At the end, so technically after our recorded thing that Breeze did for us, at the end of that, I'll leave the 2 ads at that point.
Mhm.
So if people happen to roll our episodes into something else, they're going to hear those ads. If you're
Right.
listening to that point, you don't speed ahead, then fuck you. You're hearing 2 ads. Okay. Because at that point it's done,
Right.
I don't want to, I don't know, I want to overload people, but all these other podcasts that sees 2 ads at the beginning,
Mhm.
it's painful, and I'm
Right.
like, I speed through them. So I don't know. I'm trying to be, I try to look at this, we've got to fill a purpose, or, it serves a purpose for us, but I also look at it on my end, what I hate, not hate, but what I,
Right.
I really dislike. I don't want to do that to other people. So once again, there's me being the better person, trying to think of other people. Is that what it is?
Sure. Co-signed.
That's a bunch of fucking bullshit. But anyhow, so that's why the answer in there, because yeah, we can.
Right.
So
And speaking of people actually making money off this, no, I finally listened to that Wolfgang Van Halen, Marin,
okay.
today. Shit, yeah, that's right. Had a little extra driving to do. I went down to Columbus, so yeah, it was good. I liked it.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the kid's fucking got a real good head on his shoulders, man.
Right.
Yeah, just a good fucking attitude. Cause like, I mean, you talked about when you were talking about it, yeah, all the hate and stuff. And yeah, he's definitely dealing with it. And the other day, I don't know if you listened to the Moon Unit Zappa.
Not yet.
Okay.
That's on
That
my
one,
on my list to listen to.
that's a good one.
Is
Listen
it
to
okay?
that one. Yeah. Yeah. She went through some shit, man. I mean, I love Frank Zappa's music. I always have. I like, the guy, but the guy was a fucking major dick, which I knew.
Right.
But yeah, and apparently his wife was no piece of cake either. So yeah, they hell of an interesting family, and she definitely worked. And her and Mark actually dated for a while.
Who did?
Mark and Moon Unit.
Oh, really? I didn't
Yeah,
know
yeah.
that.
They're
Okay.
like 6 months. They talk about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Okay.
So yeah, it was a really good interview. And again, a lot of trauma stuff and it was good. It was really good. I liked it a lot. So yes, listen to that one.
Yeah, and I saw that one, but the one I listened to was the one right after that. Was I forget what the guy's name, Michael Rooker or something like that. And I'm like, who the fuck is this dude? So I looked him up. It's the he was in, like, you've seen Days of Thunder, right?
Once maybe when it came out. Yeah.
He was the rowdy dude. He was like
I don't know. We're talking
Rowdy Burns or whatever.
40 years ago when that
Yeah, I
fucking
know
movie
that.
came out.
You'd know him if you saw him, but when I saw him, I'm like, oh, I like this dude. So I listened to that. It was a good interview. But then I saw
Yeah.
the one for Moon too, and I'll listen to it probably in my running around over the next couple of
Yeah.
days or whatever. Sometimes I'll listen to it while I'm making dinner and stuff. But yeah, I saw that, and I just hadn't had a chance to listen to it yet. But yeah, so I listened to some of. I put Mammoth up on Spotify when I went up to, I think when I went up to Marquette, when I
Uh-huh.
was driving up there, because I think that's when we were talking about this. And it's decent. I mean, it didn't make my ears bleed in a bad way.
Right.
He's a decent singer. I mean, the every band's got their, almost like their musical, I don't want to call it a tick, but things that they do in like every song. Like the
Mm-hmm.
Foo Fighters have it, everyone does.
Right.
Foo Fighters are always like, soft, and then they fucking blow your doors off with something that'll soften up, whatever. They got the same pattern.
Uh-huh.
They do a lot of the, almost like that, what we were talking about with what's his fuck from the Foo Fighters, the double kick bass type of thing.
Yeah.
It's almost like that. Tool does it almost with their music, and
Mhm.
Not Linkin Park. I'm thinking more of a Tool type of sound with that booming type of bass type of thing.
Mm.
There's a little bit of that to the background. I like it. It's decent enough. I don't know that I just listened to it that time, but it's not terrible.
Yeah.
There's some of those
Right.
ones I've listened to, and
Well, I
I'm
mean,
like, as
it's all him. It's not a band.
right.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. It's like that. He talked about that in the interview. He's like, yeah, that's kind of what inspired me was that first Foo Fighters album because that's all
Right.
Dave. Right.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, obviously he takes a band out with him when
Yeah. Well,
they
of
play
course.
live, of course.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, yeah, I apologize. You're right. Yeah, all of the recordings are all him. So yeah, when I say they, yeah, that was the wrong way to put it. But yeah, but it is. It's a it's nothing like Van Halen, that's on
Right.
purpose. He won't. He said people get pissed off at him because he won't play Van Halen shit.
Right.
He was scared, obviously, to do the Taylor Hawkins thing because he didn't want to fuck it up.
Right.
And he just doesn't want to be. He's always going to be compared, but he goes, how the fuck can I? He goes, nobody could be my dad.
Right.
How
Yeah.
does anyone say-
I love the line he said, yeah, but I'm a better drummer than he was.
Yeah.
Nobody ever says that about me.
Yeah, I know when he said that, I laughed at that. And do you know, just as a side note, that when Alex and Eddie started off, they were flipped.
Yeah.
Alex was playing guitar and Eddie
Mhm.
was on the
Yeah,
drums.
that I knew. Yeah.
Which I thought that to begin with. I'm like, that's fucking weird, but
Mhm.
in a fun way. It's weird in a fun way. So, but yeah, I will definitely listen to that. But yeah, I'm glad you listened to it. I thought the same thing. I have respect for Wolfgang. Just I
Mhm.
knew nothing about him, and after
Right.
listening to it, it just I was going to say a newfound respect, but I mean,
Yeah.
I had nothing. I didn't know anything about him.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. He seems like a very decent person, and I still won't go listen to it because I just don't fucking care.
Right. They're going to go in just listen to the same 3 songs that you've listened to
That's
for 15
right.
or 20 years.
Goddamn right.
Yeah, just fucking with you. Okay, so this is like one of the last things that I wrote down, and I think we talked about this, but it never hurts to bring it up again because it might have been a year ago because I took it out of one of the readings recently.
Mhm.
So from the 24-hour book, am I completely honest with myself and with other people? I think we talked about this, didn't we?
I don't know, but I remember reading it the other day and going, mostly.
Okay, so that's when I read it, I did this. I did the same fucking thing. I'm like, and then I'm like, completely. And it is. It's just it's really when it comes down to it. I mean, I don't know how. What are your thoughts on that? I mean, how else can you put it? But just.
Right. Well, I mean, again, that one, right. It was from a day or two ago or
Right.
3 or whatever. And, yeah, it made me stop for a second. God damn it. But, yeah, certainly far more honest than I was 14 and a half years ago. And, no, not fucking completely. Of course not. It's a process, man. I'm not gonna beat myself up over it. Oh shit, I'm not totally fucking honest with everybody all the time. But yeah, I'm far more honest, and I live far more honestly than I ever have in my life. So yeah, I'm doing all right. Did a little spot mini inventory there in the morning. Yeah. I'm far more honest than I ever have been in my entire life, and that's good enough for today.
Right. Well, and that's the other thing too. So I know we've talked about the whole point of what do you always say? Honesty without
Honesty without compassion is cruelty.
There you go. And I always want to say honesty without love because I think you used to say it that way. Either way, it's the same deal.
Right.
Just brutal honesty is not the way to be because we could be honest, but we don't want to hurt people.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing that goes back to anyone, whether it's a man or a woman.
Right.
My jeans make my ass look fat. No, you look wonderful. I mean, how does my haircut look? It looks great.
Right.
But that's the thing. So there's that part of it. And then there's the other part of it where, I don't know, do we need to really be, is it everyone's business to just for all of us to walk around and just, literally vomit our truth,
No,
out to everyone?
Not. No.
And it's just not,
Right. I mean, the whole point is, am I being honest with myself?
Right.
And yes, for, again, more than I ever have in my life. Yes, I am honest with myself. I'm not bullshitting myself anymore, which is one of the big points of this whole fucking thing. I'm not being dishonest with myself anymore. I don't believe my own lies anymore. And
I don't know why that made me laugh.
Well,
but it did.
Because it's goddamn ridiculous that we lived for so long believing our own lies. If anyone should know that we're fucking lying, it's us, yet we still fucking believe it. I'm okay. I'm doing just fine.
Wasn't me.
Right, as I'm vomiting on my fucking pants and, and shitting my bed and, Yes, right. I'm okay. Are you though? Right. So yes, I'm honest with myself today,
Right.
which is, and that bleeds into being honest with other people. But yes, again, not I had a girlfriend a long time ago who used to say, she used to call it gratuitous honesty. Because it was that was I didn't have a problem with that. I'll fucking tell you exactly what's wrong with you. I'm just being honest. Just being
Right.
honest with you. Gratuitous honesty. Shut the fuck up. How about that? Uh, have a nice big cup of that. Um, So yes, I'm honest with myself, and that bleeds into being honest with other people and just living an honest life. But yes, I don't need to walk around and tell everybody how I feel, and I'm just being honest. I'm living my own truth. No, I'm living my own truth to my fucking self,
Right.
and then trying to be kind and loving to other people, which isn't always fucking honest, and that's okay.
Yeah.
Because honestly, I think you're a fucking piece of shit, and I don't like you. But, but that's the honesty without compassion.
Right.
The compassionate thing to say is, "Hey, you're all right. I'll see you later."
Yeah.
and hopefully I won't.
Well, and that's the thing, or fucking say nothing. I
Right.
mean,
Thank you.
that's the other thing. The biggest gift, and I remember how it's worded, but there's a thing that comes up every year because I had posted on Facebook one year, but it's something about that. Again, however it's worded, but the ability to shut the fuck up is basically what it comes down to.
Right.
And we don't always. There are so many things that I want to say all the time. I mean, all the
Right.
time.
Yes.
To the point of, oh my God, what are you doing to yourself? Or, oh my God, I don't fucking care what you're talking about right now.
Right.
Or why do you keep bothering me? Why do you keep coming around me? Anything, whatever and it's usually, maybe somebody I'm not the biggest fan of, or that's not doing things the way that, not even the way that I want them. Yes, of course, but
Yes.
maybe outside of, even society's guidelines and stuff like that,
Right.
But really, what it comes down to is what's the point? I don't. Nobody cares what I think, just because
Right.
why do I have to be the one to tell the motherfucker unless they're hurting somebody,
Right.
and I can stop that or prevent that. If they're making somebody else's corner of the world a worse place,
Right.
and I can do something about it without hurting myself or others. But the biggest thing is, and that what I think about every time either that reading comes up or when we talk about this, is that it's still, and I know we talk about this, it's still my default, especially if I did something wrong, whether it's going to be inadvertently, because I don't try to do things wrong these days,
Right.
work situation, anything like that. My first thought is, how can I lie about this? What can I do? How can I cover this up? How can I blame somebody else? I
Right.
don't want to take responsibility for my actions.
Right.
And that's I don't know, when does that go away? After 15 years of sobriety? I mean, is that coming up for us, or
I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty damn sure it's never going to go away.
right?
Yeah, but again, it's our thoughts don't fucking matter. It's our actions, what we do. Yeah, I don't want to take responsibility for myself, but I do, because it's the fucking right thing to do, so I do it.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and that's the biggest thing, and I'm glad you said that. Is that the one of the biggest difference I know for myself, and you too, because you and I have talked about it, is exactly what you just said. Is taking responsibility for yourself and your actions. What a complete turnaround, from the way I used to be.
Right.
I never wanted to take, well, unless I did something right, then I wanted to be, I'd
Oh yeah.
fucking bust both my arms, pat myself on the back, and making sure everyone else did too.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, I never want to take responsibility. It was this person, that person. But now, I mean, it sucks every once in a while being responsible,
Right.
Not really.
Right.
That
Yeah.
was a joke.
But also with that comes, it's all my fault. I can't. I like not being able to blame anybody
Right.
else anymore. I really do. Yeah. Again, there's that F word again, freedom. Nobody has any fucking control over me if everything I do is my fault, good and bad. Nobody has any control. Nobody can fucking say, no, It's all me. And again, it comes back to, there's people acting the way we don't want them to act. There's my air quotes for this episode. Right. And if anybody understands that nobody's going to fucking change unless they want to, it's us,
Right.
So nothing I'm going to say is going to change anybody. I understand that because clearly I didn't change. People said shit to me all the time. Oh, you kind of fucking up, you might, yeah, fuck you.
Right.
Again, believing my own lies. So yeah, it's freedom. It's wonderful. It's all my responsibility. It's all my fault. And therefore nobody can fucking tell me what to do. It's all me. And I love that. Even my fuck ups, I love it.
Right.
It's up to me to fix it. It's up to me. Nobody has any control over me anymore. Not just the fucking substances don't have control over me, but people, places, and things don't have control over me either.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah, and I mean, even though, and when it comes to our successes, even though, it is this is a we program, we stay sober, and all those sort of things, and we do all these things together. As a group, though, the group we can't drag somebody out the bar, so we can't do
Right.
this. Even though we're part of the group and we're in this together, and we get help and we get direction, all those sort of things, we still have to take the action, right?
Yes.
So
like Bob used to say, it's an inside job.
Exactly.
Yep.
So when we get to this point, that and we hear it all the time when people, tell their stories and things like that, that I can't take credit for any of this and blah blah blah. Sort of yes, sort of no. Okay. Now, only to the point where I can't take credit that the things that I do today, the things that you do today,
Right.
they're not original thoughts or original actions.
No.
Okay.
Right.
None of this we stole or were given everything that we have.
Absolutely.
That we can agree with.
Yep.
But we were given the box of cake.
Yep.
A box with a cake mix, and somebody said, follow the directions and bake a fucking cake.
Yep.
And we had to do it. We still had to take the action.
Yep.
I love the fact that we get to refer to that fucking box of cake next time we see. I think we brought it up last time we saw Joe, but
I'll be seeing him next month.
Well, mention it again, because the box of cake, and I know I've used that as an example. I don't know how many times,
right?
And that's a perfect example. As a group, everyone's given the the directions and things like that, but you're still given your own individual box of fucking cake mix. You still got to put it together and bake a fucking cake.
Yes, you do.
You still have the ability to do it right, to get that pat on the back, or to fuck it up.
Yep. Yep.
So, I mean, how did we start on this? Being honest with each other, we got the cake mix,
right? We did.
But I mean, I agree 100%. The complete honesty, I think, is a myth.
Right.
But
it's like unconditional love. What a load of shit.
Right. Control is an illusion. All those sort of things, right? But I mean, same thing as we talked about. I think we started off with how we treated our bodies. We're doing pretty goddamn good for for a couple of worthless human beings that we were, again, 14 and a half, 15 years ago. So, but we get the concept. We're not out there hurting people either. So I think this is a good thing. All right. So this is kind of funny. And this was a little bit higher on my list here, but goes along the same lines. This was from Keep It Simple. Don't talk unless you can improve the silence. Okay. On the same lines, right? And my question to you, Mike, is, do you agree with that 100%, or do you agree with that at all?
Oh, 100%. Yes. Silence is golden. Quiet is good. Yes, absolutely. And don't break that silence unless you have something to make it better. Yes. Right. If you can't, shut the fuck up. I know. I mean, society, people talk just to fucking talk. They're not saying anything. It drives me nuts, and it's getting worse.
Right.
People are yammering into their phones. I see it all the time. They're just fucking nothing. It's like, what are you doing? God, sit and be quiet for a minute, man. Not just for me, but for yourself. Sit there and just be quiet and listen to the world, not all the bullshit. listen to your heartbeat, listen to your breath. That's meditation. Again, we're not gonna, we're not the type who are gonna light a little incense and cross our legs and go, it's just not gonna
Right.
happen, But I mean, I will go sometimes I'll go a couple of hours driving with like nothing on, no podcast, no radio, no nothing, just the sound of the fucking road and me and my thoughts. And it's wonderful. I love it.
Right.
Yeah. I don't, I mean, yes, I like to listen to stuff and I like to listen to new information and blah, 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 and entertainment and whatever. But sometimes just listen to the hum of the road, man. It's okay.
Right. Yeah, and I think you and I were talking about that, God, probably 6, 7 months ago. Because I know when I said that when I was doing all this driving and stuff like that.
Right.
I still listen to music. Don't get me wrong, but I listen to music usually more on the short drives when I go to get pizza to the grocery store, that
Right.
sort of thing. When I'm out driving, I listen to a lot of podcasts, listen to audiobooks. Ooh, remind me about the new audiobook I'm listening to.
All right.
So all that stuff. But yeah, there's certain times that I'm like, even if I'm enjoying it, whatever the band is, whoever the person is, I'm just like, I can't fucking listen to this shit anymore.
Right.
And I turn it off and done. Because I can't stand it. I just need quiet for a minute, And the other thing too, and I think I told you when I first started this job, so back in February, and I think for the first couple of weeks, because I used to have all my notifications on for Instagram, and even though our page isn't as active as it was maybe a year ago, it's still active.
Sure.
And it was just while I'm working, it just got distracting, So I turned all my Instagram notifications. I turned off.
Right.
I mean, I'll go in, when I take a break at 10, when I'm done eating lunch, I'll pop on there for a minute.
Right.
I'll take a break at 3, and then sometimes I'll pop in at 5. And then I will look at Instagram and, just kind of maybe, like a couple of things that people commented on type of thing. Or if they liked or whatever it is. But I usually, I don't always post every time during the afternoon, but I do because I'm a little bit more podcast heavy these days, which you probably noticed, because I'm trying to push that. I mean, I still throw the memes in there because that kind of keeps people coming back, but I don't need to post 17 memes a day. I'm trying to keep people, get more of this out there because this there's a point to this,
Right.
But I don't post on Instagram. Maybe I'll do one at 5, sometimes a little bit, maybe after dinner, but rarely. And then I'll look at it at night and I leave it be,
Yeah.
And it's been huge. Turning off the notifications was fucking huge, and not even just because I was working, but it was just like this thing going, hey there, 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 hey there,
poke.
Yeah, fucking look at me, look at me, look at me, look at me, look at me.
Right.
I'm like, fuck me.
Yeah.
I don't look at you anymore right now. But then the other thing too, and maybe it's not that long, but at certain times, just even when I'll go outside, whether I'm at Kathy's house or whether one of these other places that I'm at, I'll go outside and I'll hit my vape a little bit and I'll just sit there and I'll listen.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I mean, I'll pop on my phone, maybe look at the weather, do whatever, depending on the thing. But sometimes I just sit there like this. Christ, when you walk out here at night. I'm like, Jesus Christ, that's like a fucking symphony of bugs.
Right.
I mean, not getting on you, but the noises,
Yeah.
And I'm just like, this is fucking weird, but really fucking cool, And I don't know. Yeah, like you say, it's really fucking dark. I get a little bit of light from the windows behind me, and I'm just like, God damn, I just said there's chairs, little rocking chairs out there.
Right.
I'll sit down one of the chairs, after dinner or something like that, and just fucking stare.
Yeah, just be and enjoy being. Yes. Yeah, it's fucking nice, isn't it?
But yeah, like you said, and people do, the thing with it is, and I know 100% why people break silence because they're uncomfortable. They're uncomfortable with their own, in their own skin. They're uncomfortable with silence. They're uncomfortable with being by themselves. And I think, part of it is I think this generation, but I look at somebody like Derek, and I mean, Derek is just he's not really. And for anyone, that's my son, and he's 23. He'll be 24 in October. Don't get me wrong, he's on his phone. He creeps on things and shit like that. But he's just not as out there as kids his age. and just not as drawn in by, to the point where sometimes it's a little frustrating. I know you're listening to this, my son, where I send you a fucking text and I can't, finally I had to call you. Hey, how you doing? Did you see the 12 texts that I sent you? Oh yeah, sorry, I meant to get back to you.
Uh-huh.
I'm like, who the fuck are you? A 70-year-old man? Jesus Christ. I saw it on my telephone. I meant to
Right.
get back to you.
Right.
But seriously, most people just, they don't know what to do with the fucking silence.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, get used to it, man. Again, like anything else, it's a muscle you got to work out. Work that muscle of doing nothing.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's I'm still, I'll be honest with you, I'm bad at just sitting still. Sometimes I have to make is much of an effort. And I know I talk about it, is I need to remind myself to be grateful. Sometimes I need to remind myself just to sit and do nothing. But
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if nothing else, I'll give myself a little bit of credit that I understand that I have a problem with that.
Mm-hmm.
I force myself again. Turn the TV off, put the
Yep.
phone down,
Yep.
sit down, and I'll sit down and I'm just gonna sit down and watch a fucking movie, or I'm
Yeah.
gonna sit down and watch an hour long TV show,
Right.
and I'm not gonna fuck with my phone. I'm gonna sit here, my feet kicked up and my arms crossed, even
Yep.
maybe eat a fucking drumstick, and I'm just gonna look at this stupid fucking electronic box, and that's my little chill time. That's
Yeah.
it. So there.
Yes. Exactly. That's why I like baseball so much. Just
That's
yeah.
that's a good point. And that is one thing with Oh, you and I were watching the game while I was there, and it's not that I
Mm-hmm.
haven't watched baseball games on TV.
Right.
Not a huge fan, of doing that,
Oh,
but
right.
I'm nothing wrong. I like going to the ballpark. I like the atmosphere and just the peacefulness of it, and that sort of thing. But yeah, I mean, God, that's a great example. Watching
Mm-hmm.
watching a baseball game, kind of, I
Yep.
mean, completely laid back for the most part, right?
Yeah, right, exactly. Yes, it's slow and it's pastoral and it's fucking wonderful. I love it. I mean, I don't watch basketball. I'll occasionally watch hockey. I watched a little more football last year because the Lions were actually good. But I mean, there was a couple years there where I'd maybe watch 2 games the whole season for a while
Right,
there. I mean, whatever, man. I don't fucking care. Yeah.
right.
But baseball, I've probably, I mean, we're in the season. I've probably watched 50 games this year.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. Just have it on. And, I mean, I'll look at my phone and stuff while I'm doing it. But yeah, it's slow. It's nice. It's peaceful. I love it.
Right. Yeah, and that's the thing that I mean, I would never, whether it's you or anyone else, say, "Why don't you watch more football? You should do this, do that." I never do that because I don't care. People do what they want to do, but
Mm-hmm.
I do. I like to sit down on a Sunday afternoon or a
Right.
Thursday night or whatever it is. That's my thing. That's great for me. I enjoy it.
Yeah.
Um, but I also understand that it's not for everyone,
Right.
and I would never sit there and be like, "Well, the fuck, don't you watch a lot of football? Why you do this? What are you, fucking stupid?"
Right.
I mean, who cares? I mean,
Uh-huh.
maybe I like broccoli and you don't, or somebody likes this and
Right.
they don't. Fuck
Yeah.
them. It's just whatever makes a guy happy, right?
Absolutely.
But okay, God, I had another one I just saw in front of me here. Fuck, I can't figure out which one. Oh, from this was from A Day at a Time. That's one of the books book that you do not read. Okay. May I recognize the emotions I am feeling for what they are.
Mm.
If I am unable to point them out to myself, may I count on others who know what it's like to be a feelings sufferer. That last part is kind of a stupid way to put it, but I
Mm.
think the main point is, may I recognize the emotions I'm feeling for what they are. If I'm unable, counting on others for help. Do you ever do that, or I mean, have you done that even in recent years where, yeah, I don't know, you got something going on, you can't figure out what's going on? Have you reached out to somebody and said that, this is whatever happened, I don't know what's going on, type of thing? I don't know.
Mm.
We're not big ones on the feelings, but you know
No.
what I mean, right?
Right. I mean, yes, if there's, a situation that's causing me some negative whatever, yes, I will certainly talk with someone about it. Thankfully there's not a whole lot of that in my life anymore. Uh Mostly by design.
Right.
And a lot of byproduct of, again, doing this thing, man. Don't have a lot of stress and anxiety and, all that good stuff. Uh, yes. Read that first line again.
May I recognize the
Yeah.
emotions I'm feeling for
Mhm.
what they are?
Right. You know what? Yes, I recognize the emotions I'm feeling for what they are. Fucking bullshit. They're gonna change in the next 2 goddamn minutes. Don't run my life on how I'm feeling in this moment, because guess what? I'm gonna feel fucking differently in the next moment. And I'm gonna feel differently after that moment. Um yes, I recognize my emotions as bullshit.
Right.
Uh, right. They are. Oh, I need to validate my feelings. No, I don't. I don't need the hell I do. My feelings again are going to change. They constantly change. They're always going to constantly change. Why would I focus my life and put all my eggs in that basket when it's going to change? Because it always changes. That's stupid. What I'm going to focus on are principles. And, right, again, the simple ones, do the next right thing, be a good boy, all that good stuff. Right. I'm tired. I'm lonely. I'm angry. I'm hungry. I'm blah, 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 blah. Some of those things we can fix. I'm hungry. Fucking eat something. Um, I'm angry. Why the fuck am I so scared?
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
And again, I'm angry. That's gonna fucking go away in a couple of minutes too. Yeah, right. I need to validate my feelings. No, I fucking don't. That's how I lived my life before. And what did it get me? Bottom of fucking bottle, laying in a bag. Yeah, because my feelings, I needed to control and shape my, validate my, no, I need to be honest and pure and loving and kind and yes, and fuck. And the rest of it is going to be different in 2 goddamn seconds. So, no, I'm not going to focus on that. I'm not going to, my feelings are my feelings. My feelings are going to change. So, right, move on.
Yeah, you know what? I was just thinking about something. Is that so much of, like, when you said, angry, lonely, tired, blah blah blah, hungry.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think that a lot of our feelings are self-imposed.
Oh God, yes.
um, it's I got I'm fucking hungry. Well, did you eat today? No.
Mm.
Okay.
Uh,
I'm really fucking tired. Well,
yeah.
did you get decent sleep?
Timed you go to
No.
bed last night,
Yeah.
right? Did you stay up
Um,
all goddamn night scrolling on your phone?
right. Yeah. I'm angry. Like you said, what are you scared at? Or,
Uh-huh.
are you angry because of the two other things you just said? You didn't eat and you didn't sleep well. Those
Right.
two things will make me angry.
Oh yeah.
They'll make me crabby if nothing else.
Exactly.
Or the other thing too is, I mean, what are you angry at? Like you said, are you scared or are you blowing something out of proportion?
Right.
This thing that's out there in front of you, this perceived situation that you're mad at or scared of, when we really,
Uh-huh.
because we always talk about, it's always fear based, which still
Right.
blows my mind that again, we didn't figure it out, but I've
No.
had more of a revelation to that with that over the last
Mm-hmm.
couple of years doing this, that I can almost pinpoint all of this shit to fear, which is crazy to me,
Uh-huh.
in a good way,
Right.
because it's an eye opener.
Yes.
It's a whole nother tool to
Yes.
deal with my own bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
But there are times when, I'm running through the day and things are good and I got a decent amount of sleep. I ate my lunch. I did all these different things, and then I have this mental crash.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we were talking about this a few weeks ago. Remember how it came up, but then literally I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you? You
Right.
know, and I'm like, 2 minutes ago, you're in your head, you're like, you're fucking dancing,
La la la.
yeah, you're doing all stuff, you're snapping your fingers, and you just hit a fucking wall, or you
Yep.
dumped into a crater.
Yeah.
And we figured out what it was. At least I think I know what it is that's my default.
Yeah. Right.
For whatever reason, in my head, I stopped doing the work for a minute and I fell, you know, which is so fucking stupid, you
Yep.
know? I always got to, I'm like a shark. I always got to keep swimming. I always got to keep working. I'm like, okay, stay happy, not stay happy, but you know
Yeah,
what?
right.
Keep working, keep working, keep working.
Yeah.
And then all of
Be
a sudden
grateful. Be grateful.
all I did was take a break, rest my arms, and float in my fucking mental health crashed. Like, dude, get back up.
Right. Keep
So
fucking pedaling.
right, but I mean, again, revelation a few weeks ago when we were talking about that, I'm like Jesus Christ, that's my default is to be
Yep.
flat out in a fucking crater. I got to
Yep.
work all the time. I always gonna be climbing out of this fucking thing,
Mm-hmm.
which again is fucking mind blowing,
Right.
But yeah, I mean the feelings part of it, we all have them, but I think they're
Of course.
self-imposed. They're
Yeah.
all caused, but like you said, and I think is so important, and you say it all the time, that they're temporary.
Yes.
No matter how good, bad, or indifferent they are, they're
Yes.
fucking temporary.
Yep.
I feel really
Exactly.
good right now. Yeah, well, wait 5 minutes.
Yeah. Right. It's like the weather in Ohio.
Yeah, exactly. But I want to keep feeling good. Well, you
Yeah.
keep doing the work. Happiness is a
Right.
byproduct. Have you listened
Exactly.
to us? Have you listened to us before?
Exactly. And remember that time in your life, those years and decades that you were trying to feel good all the time? How'd that work out for you, asshole?
Right. Yeah, it probably didn't. Probably didn't at all. Not even probably. I know for a
Oh,
fact.
yeah. Sure as hell didn't work for me.
Note to self, it did not work out. Don't do that again.
Right.
All right. So this was a passing thought. God only knows when I wrote this down, but I don't know that I ever asked you this question. So, in the beginning, when I don't know, however long, let's call it the first 30 days at the Keating Center, because
All
those are
right.
the raw times, I would say.
Yep.
Did you ever consider walking out or leaving?
Uh, I mean, probably all the time and probably not at all.
Once again, I can always count on you. That answer, it's different based on whatever question, but you give me both scenarios and it make me fucking laugh every time because it's the most honest answer that you could give, and
Right.
I agree with it. That's the problem. I
Yes,
agree.
exactly. Yeah, yes, constantly, but it was never. No, but I knew deep down that what I was doing was the right fucking thing to do, despite my uncomfortability.
Right.
Yeah, it was yeah. Again, all the time and not really. No, I knew I had to do it. I didn't know what I had to do, but I knew I had to do it, so I stayed.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you know what? When I wrote that down, and again, I didn't think about it too much, but I know my answer. I mean, when I was first dropped off, obviously I didn't want to stay. I literally said I would give it one day. It
Yep.
wasn't this poignant moment of the one day at a time bullshit. I
Right.
literally was. I was gonna assess my situation the next day, and probably fucking leave. That was my thought.
Sure.
I remember falling asleep, and I know I said it before on here, probably a long time ago, but I was in a lower bunk down in. Was I in
You were down in B.
B?
Yeah.
Yeah, you were in A. I
I
was
was
in
in
B.
A. Yeah.
Yeah. So in B dorm downstairs, and my bunk, I was a lower of a bunk bed, and kind of close-ish to the door.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember laying on my right hand side. I took my shoes off. I just laid down in my clothes.
Mm-hmm.
And right above the door was an exit sign, and
Yep.
I laid there and I stared at that sign, wanting to leave,
Uh-huh.
but didn't know what to do, and that's how I fell asleep. And
Right.
from that point forward, I don't remember ever having the thought of leaving, because now looking back on it,
Mm-hmm.
I think I knew that I didn't know what to do,
Right.
and I think I knew I didn't know where to go.
Right.
And whatever it was, that that survival instinct, I had nobody to, and at that point, that was the other thing too. I had nobody to turn to. No, it's not like
Right.
I could call Kathy, call mom, call anyone,
Mhm.
be like, "Hey, float me a couple of bucks." No,
I'm gonna
that
catch a cab.
that ship had not only sailed but
Uh-huh.
sunk.
Oh, yeah.
That ship was fucking gone.
Yes.
So I did. I had no place to go, and
Mhm.
nobody would want me there anyhow.
Right. They didn't
So
call it the last house on the block for nothing.
Right. But I seriously, with the exception of that first night, I don't think I ever had. Although back to what you said, yeah, I'm sure I got pissed off and
Oh yeah.
fucking Marty and
Mm-hmm.
this fucking rules and
Yep.
in my head shaking my fist at the world and
Right.
I'll tell you, man.
All these motherfuckers farting and burping and yeah, assholes.
Yeah.
Yep.
But you know what? I mean, is funny. It wasn't. I mean, it was what it was. I mean, looking back now, it's like Jesus Christ, man. I wouldn't obviously clearly wouldn't want to go back there. That's
No.
why part of the reason I've never picked up a drink again because I don't want to go back there.
Right.
I don't care about helping myself and living and
Oh
being good to
yeah.
other people. I just don't want to go back to the fucking Keating Center.
Right.
Not completely true, but part of.
Oh, I used to tell the guys in group all the time, I love this place. I don't ever want to fucking spend the night here again.
Right. But you know what? I mean, I don't know. Again, the only thing that I can ever go back to is as much of a fucking whiny, pissy little bitch that I was when I first went in there. There had to have been something in me that glimmer of hope, that glimmer of faith, that little glimmer of willingness. All that shit was there someplace.
Yep.
And whether it came from me or just came from these wonderful guys that were around us, whether they knew it or not, or they were just doing what they were taught, and it. Fuck it. That's what these people do.
Yep.
So yeah, it was just great.
Yes. Well, again, yes. Wanted to goddamn leave so bad, but yeah, knew that this was the right thing to do, whatever the fuck it was. And so yeah, did it. Still am, sort of.
Yeah, just not literally, not specifically at the Keating Center, right?
That's right.
There was a, and I fucking forgot to look it up. I'm obviously not going to look it up now. They had they did, it was long story. They were doing a replay on the morning show this morning for whatever reason. And they had this article about, states that swore the most. And I think, God, where was it? I keep wanting to say Minnesota, which was, I could be wrong on that, but I'm like, I got to look this up. That'd be a great thing to bring up in the podcast. I was going to write it down for next week, obviously, because we're supposed to have Dr. Sarah tonight. But I don't know. It's just, I'll have to look that up. Maybe we can talk about it, at some point. But I don't know, all in all, what the fuck? I mean, we had that, the technology issue and, Dr. Sarah, once again, no worries to her. We're not angry. She had no reason to be, be sorry or anything like that. It might be, seriously, as we're thinking about it now, it might be the middle-ish of September, till we have her back on, but it'll be worth the wait. So
yeah, absolutely. Yeah. We'll still be here and so will she.
Yeah, and I'm. I don't know. I think that obviously I know we're both looking forward to the conversation. She's a lot of fucking fun. But yeah, it was funny when she had when I texted her earlier and back and forth, and then finally texted her that you were good to go early. She's like, okay, good. And then I don't know, probably an hour later, she texted me and she's like, so is there like specific topics we're going to talk about, or are we just going to wing it? And I said, wing it. I'm like, I know we're going to talk about the book. We're going to talk about your podcast. But I said, other than that, I'm like, don't even worry about it. I said, well, you don't need to bring anything, just it'll be a conversation. That's it, so, but she's just fun. I mean, I know she wants to be prepared and all those sort of things. And again, it's the recording would have been terrible had we been able to try to put it together without having the right equipment for her. So
So we shouldn't try to force things. It's just going to be bad. We will give it time and do it when it's supposed to happen.
Right. You know what? And it's not the this might be we might have had one other. No, this might be the first time that we've actually had a guest that then you and I just went on and did it. We had, again, Little Dicky is the one that obviously canceled on us a couple of days prior, but so we promoted him up through like Wednesday or something like that. But yeah, this might be the first time that we had that happen. But fuck it, we always get shit to talk about. That's all we do. Oh, speaking of Dicky, did I tell you what road this place is on?
No.
Guess the word.
Well, I don't know.
Did I just said Little
Dicky?
It's Dicky Road.
Dicky Road. Ah.
And you know what? From the first time that once you book it on Airbnb is when they obviously give you the address. I meant to bring it up to you this entire time and I completely fucking forgot. And then I thought about it I think just yesterday, I'm like, I never fucking told. How could I have never told him about that? We talked about Little Dicky like 2 or 3 times since I booked this place, but yeah, it's on fucking Dicky Road. It's just
Dickey
great.
Road. All
Yep.
right. Well.
On that note, but you know what? I think unless I don't know, you got a bunch of other stuff to talk about, or are we done? I think we're done.
I mean, yeah, we're probably pretty close to done. Right. If you're listening to this on Saturday, carve out a little time next Friday night. WJCU.org. You can listen to me play my horrible heavy metal music and a little punk rock and some rock and roll thrown in for fun.
Yeah, and if you need the link, it is on our website under our sponsor, the section of our website sponsor page. I'll move it up tonight, but well, actually, by the time you hear this, it'll be moved up. It's just sponsor page. You'll see it. Mike's picture, WGC, whatever it is. Click through. That takes you to the radio station. Or
Yep.
you said tune in. Is it? It's through the TuneIn
It's
app
on
also,
TuneIn.
right?
There's and WJCU also has their own app.
Okay.
So if you go to your Google Play Store or whatever the Apple one is or whatever, just punch in WJCU. It's the University John Carroll University. Yeah, and you'll find it.
Yep, absolutely. So yeah, enjoy that next week, and yeah, you and I will talk on Thursday, but we'll promote this one more little time, and then you'll promote it all week, and we'll have a bunch of shit up on Instagram and Facebook, and get that stuff all done, right?
Right.
Cool.
Oh, you know what? One thing I did forget to tell you this week, the president of our company was in our office on Wednesday.
Really?
Yeah. I
But-
mean, the big kahuna.
I was just going to say the largest wig in the organization.
Yes, exactly. The biggest wig. Yes. Yes. The CEO of JB Hunt was I got to meet her. Very nice, lovely lady. Yeah, Shelly Simpson is her name. It's not a secret. It's Google that shit. It's everywhere. Yeah, but
Right.
yes, the actual CEO that runs this $1 billion company sat there and shot the shit with this lowly little drunk. So,
So what was she in town for? Just
she's apparently going all over the country, just checking in with everybody, hanging
no
out.
shit.
Yep. She went and did a ride along for a couple hours with one of our drivers, one of the senior drivers, 2 million miler, and which means he's driven 2 million miles without an accident. And yeah, it's hung out with us. It was pretty
Wow.
cool.
That is kind of cool.
Yeah.
So, quick question, and I know
Yeah.
you talked about like JB Hunt and and I'll ask the question in a minute, but
Mhm.
I once again when I listen to again speaking of the TuneIn app, I listen to the morning show. It's all these different ads.
Mhm.
So for whatever reason, they're in Schneider is out of Green Bay, Wisconsin. I
Right.
don't know why I'm getting all the ads, around here. But all this stuff with Schneider and this and that. They keep saying, one of the largest companies in the industry. But
Yeah.
I know JB Hunt. Is it number 1, number 2, or 3, or how does that? Do you know how it ranks?
I believe. I mean, like I think maybe FedEx or something. I don't know. I'm pretty sure we have the most trucks on the road.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. I mean, we're definitely top 3. Yeah. Big
Okay.
motherfucking company.
Right. And that's what I thought you said. And I mean, Schneider is I always heard good things about Schneider over the years. And
right.
I mean, again, they're based in Green Bay. So, I mean, of course,
Right.
I've always heard a lot of them or a lot about them, being in Wisconsin for those number of years. But it was just weird to get the Schneider commercials. But they talk about, again, hiring truck drivers, blah, blah, blah.
Uh-huh.
And they say one of the largest companies that just popped into my head. And I was going to write it down. And so thank you for bringing that up because I wanted to ask you. I knew you talked about JB Hunt being in the top something. I couldn't remember if it
Right.
was top 2, top 3, or whatever it was. But
Yeah. Like I said, I'm almost sure we have the most trucks on the road.
right.
Yeah. It's like FedEx is one of the biggest airlines, that kind of thing,
Right.
Right. But yeah, we're fucking huge.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and shit. I mean, I of course I see the fucking JB Hunts everywhere. I mean,
Right.
Schneider I see around, but
Mhm.
JB Hunt I think I see around more.
Right.
Just in again kicking around everywhere. I see
Yes.
fucking trucks all over the goddamn place.
Yep.
So
Yep. Coast to coast.
right.
Yep. yeah, I love my company. Yeah, it's, they treat me right. Can always use more money. I actually said that to the president. 'Cause
That's perfect.
yeah, right. Well, she's like, yeah, so, anything you would improve, blah, blah, blah. I said, well, we can always use a little more money. She just laughed. She didn't pull her wallet out. God damn it.
Didn't
But-
give you $1 for a soda or anything.
Right. Here's $2. Go have a good time.
that would actually have been the best, to be really fucking condescending if she was some
Right.
fucking bitch, to be like, here,
Right.
go buy yourself something nice.
Yes. No, she was very sweet.
Right.
And yeah, well, and we talked about, the company JB Hunt is actually a person,
Right.
he's passed, but he was a truck driver and he started his own company, and Mrs. Hunt is still alive. And
Is she really?
Yeah, she's like in her 90s. And yeah, she's still down by where the corporate headquarters are at. And she's like, oh yeah, I see Mrs. Hunt, a couple times, every couple months or so, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. It's like, wow. All right then.
Well, and I remembered you saying that it was whatever it was, a few years ago, or it might have been on here that we were talking about it, but that it was that I didn't know that JB Hunt was a real person, but
Yeah.
obviously I learned that from you. But that's I didn't know that there was still a spouse that was still alive.
Yep.
That's crazy.
Yep.
That's crazy.
Yeah, still around. She's the wife of a truck driver,
Right.
and he did all right by her.
Yeah. Well, I would think so. Yeah.
Yep.
But I mean, that's just cool though, because you do not see that much. I don't hear about it that much anymore, especially these big corporations,
Right.
Where you get an individual out there, just kicking around and seeing people. You may have some big meeting or some big video thing or whatever,
Right.
but actually physically get out there and it doesn't happen anymore because most companies they don't give a fuck. I mean,
Exactly.
just
Yeah.
churn people through.
Right. Yeah. No, it was very cool. So shout out to JB Hunt for, caring about us little guys.
Yeah, no, that's cool, and I'm glad you brought that up because that again, since we talked about feelings, that is a feel good story.
Yeah. Yeah. It was nice.
It really, all the
It
shit
was.
that we talk about, it's kind of nice.
Yeah. Like I said, this lonely fucking gutter drunk was standing there talking to the CEO of $1 billion corporation. Yeah. Kind of
And
cool.
she didn't look at you side eyed like that last guy was at the cookout, acting like you were like loaded up or something like that. The guy you're scratching
No.
your shoulder and eating your Doritos.
Yep. Yeah. Nope, not at all.
All right. So that's better. That's more our style. Let's end on that.
All right.
Your turn.
Oh, it's my turn. All right. Well, you know what? I got to pull something up here because I got a little surprise for you kids. All right. All right. Well, thank you everyone for listening to another episode of Sober Not Mature. As always, be kind to each other, be good to each other, go out there and do something nice for somebody else this week. Don't tell anybody that you did it, and fuck your feelings. All right. Now, this is from our pal, Colorado Gretchen, who has been on this show. She sent this to me, and I am going to tell you to fuck off. Don't worry about it. I'm going to change this a little bit, but here we go. From the bottom of my heart to the depths of my soul, from the beginning of time to the ends of the earth, always and eternally, fuck you. Now it's time. It's time for you to fuck off. Then keep fucking off. Keep fucking off till you get to a gate with a sign on it saying you cannot fuck off past here. Climb over that gate, dream the impossible dream, and keep fucking off forever.
So yeah, I saw that on obviously on Facebook. Yeah, that was G. We've had G on here twice. So look back at episodes with G. So thank you, our good friend G. But what I thought you were going to do, I thought you were going to read that, and then because obviously it goes into your recorded version. But do both. Let's do both. Do both of them every week. Fuck it. I mean, what does it take? An extra 4 seconds?
Exactly.
Again, maybe let's run this past the board and see if it's okay. The beauty of quote unquote owning it. We own a podcast,
right?
We
owner operators.
Yes. Yeah, we own the fucking thing and we gotta drive it.
That's right. I'm not only the president, but I'm a customer.
I'm not only the podcast owner, but I run my bullshit on here too.
That's right.
All right, man. I think we're done. So
We
I love you,
are.
brother.
I love you too.
I think we'll talk soon.
We shall.
All righty. Bye.
Bye. And now it is time for you to fuck off. Then keep fucking off. Keep fucking off until you get to a gate with a sign on it saying you cannot fuck off past here. Climb over that gate, dream the impossible dream, and keep fucking off forever.